Some of my favorite memories with my grandparents is when they would come down from Nebraska and we would, like my granddad would, he would mix sodas whenever we went to restaurants. He taught me how to, we would mix sodas all the time. Or whenever we would sit around the dinner table and play chicken foot with dominoes. And those are some of my favorite memories with my grandparents.
I remember going to a college basketball game with my grandpa last year.
I skied with my grandpa until he was 76 years old.
I think the one thing that I really think about when I think about grandparents is my grandfather on the snow side. We refer to him as Pop. And Pop loved to, on Sunday mornings, hang around in the church lobby to make sure that they had enough people to serve on the Lord's Supper. And I'll always remember the times where it was Pop and my dad and my brother and I would serve on like the one side of that auditorium. And it was always just really neat because my grandfather, Pop, he just lived for being able to serve on the Lord's Supper on Sunday morning. That's what he did. And it was just really neat because that kind of typified all of my four grandparents, was the love that they had for other people and their willingness to serve the Lord. And so I really miss that. I'd trade everything that I have for one more Sunday of Pop and my dad and my brother and I serving together on the Lord's Supper.
I grew up with two grandmothers. Both of my parents were only children, and so we had no aunts or uncles or cousins. So my two grandmothers were very close to me. And two things that they taught me were unconditional love. No matter what I did, who I was, they were always going to love me. And the second was, one of my grandmothers made sure that I learned to read by reading the Bible with her. And that's just such a great memory of every night when I stayed with her, of us reading together and reading from the Bible and learning how to pronounce all those words. It's a very special memory to me.
Memories about Grandma and Grandpa.
Well, certainly the house and environment. You know, the house in the middle of nowhere, just the house with just empty houses all around it.
Empty houses that they always claimed someone lived in. You never saw them. Foot races on the dirt road. Play football Thanksgiving. Yeah. Out there. A random ostrich that was back behind their house.
Yeah, ostriches.
Walking over Uncle Henry's house and maybe seeing if the pigs were just, fending for themselves over there. I never saw the pigs.
See, you were trying too young to see all the pigs there in this pen, like, what is it, 40 or 50 of them just pressing up against this gate. Like, seriously, like,
yeah, I don't remember that.
We want to kill you and run over you, but this fence is stopping us. But they used to tell you, right, in case you saw one, what to do, run, right? Come back in there.
Yeah, go back to the house. And I always remember the two rooms. Stay out of the red room and stay out of the back room that just had a sliding door. Yeah. I still don't know what's in there.
Old Christmas presents?
The old Christmas presents and a very kind of creepy looking picture. Well, it's not creepy. Maybe it's just creepy.
Oh, Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus. That picture still scares me today. When we just went there a few weeks ago and I kind of peeked in, I was like, let me just get out of here. Jesus is looking at me.
So my grandfather, the one I remember, the one I knew, his name was Lester Pendergraft, and he was a great man. He wasn't great because he achieved any great things in his life, but he was great because of what he taught his kids and his grandkids. He taught us the value of hard work. He taught us the importance of sharing. He never had any money, not because he didn't make money, because he gave it away. He was concerned about people in need. He was a great man. And I think the legacy that he left behind him is the testament to that. My greatest joy in thinking about his life was that he came to know Christ late in life. And so that I will have the opportunity to be reunited with him one day in heaven.
Let's see. When I was growing up, my grandparents didn't live close by, so Woodland West kind of adopted Amy and me as their grandchildren. And so we had people like Joe and Linda Allard and Bud and Bess Wilson and Alan Joyce Williams that would babysit us and take us in as their own. And now we have, Paul and I have Isaac, and we have people like Tom and Leisha Norwood and James and Tommy Varney and Terry and Sherry Osborne and Diana Lopez that will stand in for my mom and dad who live far away as Isaac's grandparents. So thank you, and I love you, Woodland West stand-ins.
I love you, Mima and Papa.
I love you, Nana.
I love you, Grandma and Grandmommy.
I love you, Nani. I love you, Mima and Peepa.
I love you to all my grandparents. I love Pop.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandpa. Thanks for the great example that you were to us.
Love you, Grandma.
Love you, Grandma.
Love you, Grandma and Grandpa.